On the power outages, right now we understand around 29,000 customers are still without electricity this morning. The majority of those outages are in the densely populated area of Pulaski County you see here. The website poweroutage.us tracks the outages and are showing nearly 25,000 customers out in Pulaski County alone. About 15,000 of those are Entergy customers, another 9,000 from North Little Rock Electric. And then off to our east, Cross County is showing about 3,000 customers in the dark, and almost all of those are Entergy customers. We are, by the way, going to, of course, stay live on the air with you till 10 a.m., but we'll be refreshing this outage data throughout the morning so you can see the very latest wherever you are. Also this morning, Entergy is telling customers affected by the tornado that they may have to wait even longer to get their electricity back. Not a good message that you want to hear. A spokesperson telling us the weather forecast and damage is causing them to be more conservative with their estimates. Covering that story for us is Lily Cummings. She's a reporter from our New Orleans station, kind enough to come here to help us out. She's live in West Little Rock along hard-hit Napa Valley Road. And Lily, a lot of people without power in the area where you are this morning, apartment units with lots and lots of residents. This is disappointing news.
Yeah, Karen, very disappointing news, but I want to bring you some good news that just happened. Last time we talked to you was in our 7 o'clock hour. We're now in the 7:30, and look what happened. All of these lineman trucks just showed up. So there's more than a dozen of them here now by my count. They all have license plates from Texas. So that just shows how far these folks are coming to help this Arkansas community. As you mentioned, this is one of the hardest hit areas. A lot of apartment complexes devastated by all of this. Now, they did tell me last night, as you mentioned, that Thursday, this area might have to wait until Thursday to get their power back. Obviously, that is some disheartening news for the folks out here, obviously wanting to restore their power and get back in their homes. But crews are working around the clock to restore power. They're focusing, again, on this area off of Napa Valley Drive, which includes those apartment complexes. We're looking at Napa Valley apartment homes as well as the Calais apartments, Lennox apartments as well. We spoke to a resident from there. Now, due to these apartments being in a hilly area, they had to bring in some special equipment yesterday. Now, Entergy crews, again, have been arriving from across the region. A spokesperson told us yesterday that more than 3,000 linemen are working around the clock.
We have had crews out working anything you can imagine, whether it's cutting down tree limbs that have fallen, replacing power poles, stretching new power lines. We've had boots on the ground, again, for about 24 hours now.
Now, that is when we talked to her yesterday, so obviously more than 24 hours now that these linemen have been hard at work, and they say that they appreciate everyone's patience as they restore power. And they were explaining to us yesterday, you know, it takes hours for one power line or one power pole to be restored. And then when you go out and you see power poles that are upright, they look good, they look like they're in working condition. Well, it may not be the power pole that's down, it may be the transmitter, and transmitters can take hours as well to replace. So keep that in mind as you are, I know obviously a lot of folks are frustrated that they don't have power right now, but these folks are out here and they're working hard. Again, they just arrived moments ago, and we have about a dozen lineman trucks all lined up to help these apartment complexes. And Karen, I did want to give you an update. I know you asked me in the Calais apartments, there are Little Rock police blocking those off, and you asked me earlier if residents are allowed to go back in. I went over and spoke to police, Karen, and they're telling me that at this time, residents are not allowed back in those apartments, some of the hardest hit damage in that area.
All right. Thank you, Lily, for finding out the answer to that question, which is very pivotal to know. And then also bringing us a little bit of a bright spot to see all those linemen come from Texas, as linemen do. They come from other states. As you know, New Orleans, of course, has had disasters, floods, you know. So we appreciate it, Lily. We'll be checking in with you a little bit later, see what else you can find out for us.